Hello, everybody. My name is Jacob. I like sports. Welcome to another edition of JK Sports. And today we're going to take a slight break from the basketball action and talk about the Champions League final, which is about to come up. Now, I know a lot of you guys aren't as interested in soccer as I am. However, this is a sport that I'm really passionate about and that drives a lot of passion from a lot of people around the world. And I really wish that more people would give it a chance in America. But today we are going to be talking about, like I previously stated, the Champions League final, which is going to be taking place between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. Now, we're going to take a breakdown of both these two teams before I come together and say who I think will win and why. So first, let's look at PSG. PSG have had a relatively easy path making to the Champions League final. You know, they had to beat in the round of 16 Borussia Dortmund, which they beat 3-2 on aggregate. Then they nearly lost to Atalanta in the quarterfinal, but they did, of course, win 2-1. And then they beat RB Leipzig. I can never pronounce that properly. They beat them 3-0 in the Champions League semifinal. PSG is a very solid team. They do have the likes of Neymar, Kylian Mbappe, Angel Di Maria. They have a good combination, similar to Bayern Munich, of both youth and experience, which I think Kylian Mbappe is the embodiment of that because he's so youthful. He's still in his early 20s. And yet he's already now made it to a Champions League final. He's already won the World Cup. He is one of the best players in football, in world football. And this will be the first Champions League final that PSG has gotten to since the Qatar takeover in 2011. In 2011, 70% of the club was bought by members of the Qatar family, the Qatar royalty, which really brought in a high influx of cash. And ever since then, they've had their eyes set on dominating the game. And most especially, the one trophy that has been eluding them ever since the club was taken over is this Champions League. They've won the French league every year since then, except for 1 year where Monaco won it with Kylian Mbappe. Ever since then, they've been dominant in their French league and their French cups. They've washed the league. It's not been much of a competition. However, Champions League is the one thing that has been eluding them. And I will say that is something you can notice in the players, in their reactions, in their body language. Now, in the quarterfinal game against Atalanta, you saw a lot of frustration. When they were down 1-0, approaching the 90th minute, you saw a lot of frustration. You saw a lot of heads down. You saw a lot of tired bodies because it's that mentality of, again, we got to go through this. Similar to Manchester City. Manchester City has been competing a very long time and has done really well in England. However, they never were able to push forward and get into the Champions League final even. And you can see that reflected in the players by the shoulders dropping, accepting defeat almost before it even happened. And then, of course, we all know what ended up happening. In the 90th minute, Marquinhos scored a header, followed by Eric Choupo-Moting, that's a lovely name to pronounce, getting the game-winning goal with 1 minute left in the game. And it was a complete reverse effect. Before, leading up to that goal, like I said, it was a lot of droopiness, it was a lot of sorrow, but then it was a burden off their shoulders, which you could say for every single win they've got in the Champions League over the last few seasons. It's okay, we didn't disappoint again. I don't know why that mentality has come. It probably is because the fact that they have come up short so many years, but every single time they seem to win and go on to the next round of the Champions League, it's like, we didn't lose this time. We didn't lose this time. We didn't lose this time. And I'm really wondering how that's going to affect them coming against the juggernauts that currently is Bayern Munich. So, speaking of Bayern Munich, now I'm going to talk about them a little bit. If Bayern Munich were to win this, it would be their 6th Champions League final, their first since 2013. And in that 2013 squad, we have a few reappearing players, as well as players that have won the World Cup, being Thomas Müller, Jerome Boateng, and Manuel Neuer. All consistent starters back then and still to this day. So we have the experience. They've all won World Cups or a World Cup. They've all won a Champions League together. And you can see that in their play. They play like they've been there before because they have been there before. They've won finals. They've gotten to finals. Now, of course, the Germany team had a very disappointing 2018 World Cup. However, once you win a World Cup, you're seen differently in the football world. You're seen differently in soccer world, whatever you want to call it. And you also act differently. There's a sense of you've won what many players have failed to achieve and many players never will achieve. I can easily see Lionel Messi retiring without a World Cup, Cristiano Ronaldo retiring without a World Cup. There's been many greats throughout history who fell short of achieving a World Cup. So players like that, players as high up as Lionel Messi, as Cristiano Ronaldo, who are seen to be as two of the best in the game ever, didn't even get their hands on it. However, we have three players here with Bayern Munich who have had their hands on it. Now, of course, you can still say on the other side, PSG also do have theirs. They do have Kylian Mbappe winning with France, Kimpembe, center back, winning with France, and also from that Germany squad, we do have Julian Draxler, who did win the World Cup in that 2014 team. So both teams do have experience. Both teams do have experience winning the highest achieving trophy. But Bayern, man, they look really good right now. Like we can go take a look at their form in the Champions League through the knockout stages. They initially beat Chelsea 7-1 on aggregate, as well as beating Tottenham in London earlier this year, I think by a similar scoreline, either 7-1 or 7-2. Then we all know what happened when they came against Barcelona. That 8-2, that most dominant game I've ever seen. Referencing the 2014 World Cup, that 7-1 Germany versus Brazil game, I don't think that was even as bad as what happened to Barcelona that night. They did not look up to the races. They had the own goal in the beginning of the game, and Luis Suarez also brought back another goal. But that team looked old. That team looked slow. That team looked like they had no idea what they're doing. And Bayern had, I think, over 20 shots on goal and easily could have been 10 plus goals in the game. However, if it weren't for some good defensive stops and the occasional good save by Ter Stegen, they would have won by more than 10. So that game went 8-2, and then of course in the semifinal, comfortably beating Lyon 3-0. What I liked about that game is there could have been a drop off. Lyon had just beaten Manchester City. They weren't supposed to be there in the first place, so they're playing with cash money or house money. And Bayern Munich did just beat Barcelona, one of the most historic teams in the game, 8-2. You could have seen a drop off. You could have seen a loss there. And in the first half, you did see some shots from Memphis Depay that went wide. Don't know the guy's name, but he hit the post. They looked a little nervous at first. However, they comfortably won 3-0 in the end. Two goals from Serge Gnabry, the header from Robert Lewandowski. That front line's nasty. You know, you got Lewandowski, who's on 15 goals. Serge Gnabry, who's on 9 goals. Thomas Müller is on 4. Comparing to over PSG, Di Maria is their top scorer with 6, followed by Mbappe with 5, and Neymar with 4. It's a battle of the front lines, and if the Ballon d'Or wouldn't have been canceled this year, there are many arguments you could say Lewandowski would be the winner for that. So, all things being said about both teams look strong. Both teams have earned their way here. However, that Bayern Munich resume is too much. That Bayern Munich resume, I can't find any holes in it, really. This whole season, they've played incredibly well. They haven't even dropped points, I believe, since their game against Leipzig in February, where they went 0-0. They're too dominant. I have Bayern Munich winning 4-2. It could be tough for them, though, because they do like to play a high line. PSG does have the pace all across the front line with Di Maria, Mbappe, and Neymar. So that high line could be used against them. They could look for balls over the top. That right-hand side with Joshua Kimmich or Benjamin Pavard, either one of them, they're not necessarily the paciest. So they could look to exploit that, exploit the Bayern right side, the PSG left side. They could look to exploit that over the top. I do believe they'll score a few goals. However, at the end of the day, I do have Bayern Munich winning almost comfortably. However, getting their 6th European title, winning 4-2. What do you guys think will happen? Do you think Bayern will win similar like I do? Do you think it'll be closer? Do you think it'll be more of a blowout? Or do you think PSG has a chance? Do you think PSG is going to rally the troops, fight for that Champions League trophy, which they've been eluding? Let me know what you guys all think. Thank you all very much for watching. Please get in the comments But please get in the comments below and let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think about soccer content in general. Hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Bye bye.